Didn't really want to do this ranking, but here we go. Hey everyone, welcome to the ranking, and welcome to my ranking of the Blue Sky animated films. Yes, Blue Sky. Blue Sky is a studio that makes a lot of animated kids films that, no offense, I'm not the biggest fan of. Yes, there's been 12 anime films made already. There's a few more coming out later this year, but I'm not a big Blue Sky fan. Like, a lot of their films, most of their films, I just find they're too juvenile, and they're more for kids. They're not for everybody. They're just more strictly for children. But, you know, there is one film I love, and two I find pretty good, so that's something. But yeah, I had a recommendation to do this ranking. I thought, you know, why the fuck not? Let's just do it. Let's rank all 12 of the Blue Sky animated films. Let's just do it. So yeah, let's get to it. Here's my ranking of all 12 of the Blue Sky animated films from my least favorite to my favorite. Alright, let's get started. Coming in at number 12 is Ice Age Collision Course. This was one of my least favorite films of 2016 for good reason, because it's irritating as fuck. It is so annoying, it is so stupid, and yeah, I just don't give a shit about these characters anymore. I don't care about Diego and fucking Sid and Manny and his relationship and his daughter Peaches and her relationship and these other stupid side characters and Wanda Sykes annoying the fuck out of me. I don't give a shit anymore, and this movie is much more, feels cheap looking, feels tacked on, feels so unoriginal, just the pop culture references don't make sense, because I'm like, this is during, like, way before the human age and stuff. Like, I don't know how they know these pop culture references. It doesn't make sense. And the jokes are so stupid and so forced. Just, hated this movie. Everything about this movie I fucking hated. I don't even think kids should even watch this movie. It'd make your kids dumber if they watched it. But yeah, it's awful. Easily the worst Blue Sky animated film. Easily the worst. Coming in number 11 is Ice Age Continental Drift. This exactly the same. Yes, Collision Course is still a worse film, but this is still really stupid. It still has Wanda Sykes giving annoying jokes, and again, you don't give a shit about these characters. This is such a forgettable film. See, Collision Course, I still remember. That's why I hate it more, because every time I think about it, I just want to shoot myself in the fucking face. This one's forgettable. Like, I barely remember what fucking happened in this movie, which is a compliment, but I remember still being really annoyed and really pissed off, so that's why it's number 11, but it's forgettable. Coming to number 10 is Rio 2. Like, why would they make a Rio 2? Who cares about these stupid birds? They found each other. They lived happily ever after the fucking first one. Who cares what happens? Like, want to know more about the street dogs? Want to bring in a new generic villain? How about the two owners? You know, Leslie Mann, the awkward nerdy girl who doesn't know how to talk to people. She's so socially awkward. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, they only made this movie because the first one made money, and, you know, kids will see it and stuff, but this one didn't even make that much money, and no one ever gave a shit about it. Even the fans of the first one hated this movie, so how stupid do you look? This movie's just awful. The story is stupid and it's tacked on. It's not original. The jokes don't land. The music isn't interesting or catchy. I don't know why Jesse Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway said yes to this, but I guess they need that paycheck. Coming in number 9 is Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Yes, this is when they're just making shit up now. Just like, yeah, let's make some ideas up. Let's put dinosaurs in an Ice Age movie. So fucking stupid. There's a couple, like, I guess, fine moments that is somewhat entertaining and kind of cool, but the movie's dumb. The dinosaurs don't look that interesting. The characters don't do anything interesting, and nothing is funny about this movie. A couple cool visuals here and there. There's a scene or two that I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but it's not funny. It's not interesting. It's not needed. It's kind of short, so at least it just flies by quicker, but it's still really, really stupid. Coming in number 8 is a very overrated film that I think a lot of people do love, or at least like. I don't understand why. I think it's awful, and that's the movie Epic. Epic! That is the most misleading title ever. There's not one thing about this movie that is the slightest bit epic. This movie is ridiculous. It's so cliched. It's basically Ferngully. It's got the same environmental messages as so many other goddamn films out there. Christoph Waltz is a shitty villain. All the voice acting is wasted. There's these comedic reliefs that they're like these snails, and they're fucking annoying. I wanted them to die the second they came on screen. I hated their guts. The main character is boring. The animation's nothing that spectacular. It's been there, done that kind of shit, and I never understood why people like this movie. Some people call this underappreciated, very good film, very beautiful film. It's neither one of those things. It's got cliched messages that you've seen in bajillion other films. The characters aren't interesting. They're all very one-dimensional. None of the jokes land. The comedic reliefs are irritating. They're the Jar Jar Binks of blue sky animation. Fucking hate everything about this movie. Like, I know there's a fan base for it. That's fine, but I'm definitely not it. I do not see the love for this film. I don't understand it. Coming in number 7 is Robots. Another not a good film. This is a very ugly looking film. Like, I can't stand the animation in this film. Some people like it, but I can't stand it. I think it's very ugly and feels very cheap looking and stuff. And again, these are very boring, one-dimensional characters. The only thing that makes this movie somewhat watchable is Robin Williams. Robin Williams has a few good jokes in this film. Really good. Some of them don't hit, but some of them are very, very funny, and he's the reason to watch any seconds of this film, because the film is very predictable, it's very dull, it's very cliched, the animation's nothing that great. Robin Williams is good, and that's the only thing that makes this somewhat, I don't know, watchable. Coming to number 6 is Ice Age: The Meltdown. The Meltdown, it's better than the other ones, but still, it's not needed. It's tacked on. It's not funny. I wanted these movies to be funny. They're not funny. I guess Ray Romano has a little bit better material in this film to work with. Same with Dennis Leary. I still find Sid irritating as fuck in this film. They bring in like a love interest for Annie. She's nothing that great. The visuals are a little better, like the meltdown scenes and the avalanches. They look pretty cool. The animation's a little better in this one, but it's still predictable and kind of dull. And just I don't get into these characters and these stories. I wasn't a fan of it. But I understand if people do like this one, but I still wasn't a fan of it. Coming to number 5 is Ferdinand. Yeah, Ferdinand. This is not bad. This is actually very nice to look at. The animation is quite lovely. It's actually very beautiful in the animation. The colors look nice. The animals are well designed and stuff. Again, it's just not funny and it's just not interesting. I don't care about these characters. John Cena is trying. I actually appreciate what John Cena is doing in movies now. I like that he's picking very different roles and stuff, and I'm quite liking him as an actor, and he is fine as Ferdinand. Just the writing is nothing that great. It's very predictable. It's one-dimensional. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. Your kids will love it, but I don't know. I couldn't get into this one. The animation looked very nice, but there's nothing really much to this film. I was just kind of glad it was over. I didn't hate myself watching it, but it's nothing that great. Coming to number 4 is Rio, the first Rio. This is not that bad. This is a completely fine, harmless kids film. Kids will love this film, like Ferdinand. Kids will love it, and that's completely fine. There's a few good jokes even for adults. The villain sucks. The dogs are annoying, but the two main birds are fine. Jesse Eisenberg and Anne Hathaway are fine. Like, there is some likability to this film. It has a good message to it. Again, I wish there was more funny jokes. I wish there was more catchier songs. I wish the story was a lot more compelling. I wish there was a little more deepness to it and a lot more maturity to it. But for a kids film, for only kids, it's fine. That's all I gotta say. Rio is fine. Coming to number 3 is The First Ice Age. The First Ice Age is decent. I actually don't mind The First Ice Age. I actually didn't mind these 3 characters, Sid, Diego, and Manny, and I thought even John Leguizamo, they gave good voice acting performances. The jokes were a little better in this one, but I still found a lot of them still fell flat, but there was a lot more dramatic scenes. There's a lot more tension. They showed why these animals are trying to survive. There's a lot more a humanistic approach. It felt more relatable with the characters. You felt for more of these characters. You felt sorry for them. You were rooting for them in this movie. Like, it felt more like a survival film. That's why I liked Ice Age. I never understood why they made sequels. This was nothing. This was never like a great film, but it was a pretty good film. And I think it would have been a good, just a standalone animated film, but they almost butchered it with all these garbage sequels. But the first one itself is pretty good. Coming at number 2 is Horton Hears a Who. Yes, Horton Hears a Who is one of the probably only good Dr. Seuss movies. Well, the Boris Karloff Grinch movie is good, and I do have a guilty pleasure for the Jim Carrey one. It's not a great film, it's not even a good film, but I have a guilty pleasure for it. This is actually enjoyable. Jim Carrey gets a little carried away, and his comedy's not always that funny, but he's still a likable character. The Whoville scenes are great. You know, showing the Who's and the frickin' speck on the flower are great. Steve Carell's really funny. It's really enjoyable. I love the design. The animation is beautiful in this film. The comedy does work sometimes. Some of it doesn't, but some of it is very, very funny. It has a very good message. It has a pretty good songs, a decent score. I actually had fun with Horton Hears a Who. There's some stuff that really does not work, and it feels very, like, Lorax-esque. It feels like the fucking Lorax movie, but the movie, I think, works. As a whole, I think it does work. It's nothing amazing. It's great for kids. It's an okay watch for adults. It's, all in all, it's good. And my number 1 favorite Blue Sky animated film is the Peanuts movie. The Peanuts movie is fucking awesome. I did a review of it back in 2015 and loved this movie. This was a great film. This is legit the only Blue Sky movie I legit love. This is so good. This is Charlie Brown. I love Charlie Brown. I love the Peanuts. I love the Peanuts show. I love the Charlie Brown movies like the Charlie Brown Christmas, The Great Pumpkin, Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown, Soon Come Home and shit. Like, those are great freaking films. The Peanuts movie felt just an homage to classic Peanuts, and it was so good. The new voice actors are great. The blend of hand-drawn and CGI looked beautiful. It had a very, very deep message, had such a likability and charm to it. I loved these characters. I loved the classic jokes. I love the new music they bring into the film. I love how the movie ends. I love that Charlie Brown doesn't get fully shit on in this film. Snoopy and the Red Baron are really fun and enjoyable. They're a little side story. Everything about the Peanuts movie, it worked for me. It's not my favorite Charlie Brown film, but I absolutely adored it, and I thought this was such a great film. If you have kids and you want to show them a proper Blue Sky animated film, skip all 11 of these films and show them the fucking Peanuts movie. This is a great animated film, and easily the best Blue Sky animated film. So yeah, that's my ranking of all 12 of the Blue Sky animated films from my least favorite to my favorite. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this ranking? If not, give me a ranking of all the Blue Sky animated films in your guys' opinion. If you haven't seen all of them, just give me a ranking of all the ones you've seen. So yeah, give me your thoughts and opinions. Comment below, let me know. And as always, for this video, please like, subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.